spending quality time with the in-laws.
Well, I guess we don't get it.
Seriously.
I really feel like we're at a board meeting and I'm in the front, like, okay, today's meeting, but
What's the agenda?
yeah, it's kind of a loose agenda today, actually. Why don't we take one and pass it around? That should be enough for the whole group. So today is kind of easygoing. I feel I was going to change all the chairs around, but it was like this when I came in. So now it feels very formal for a very informal conversation. We're just kind of going to be talking and giving examples of things about like excuses that we give and rationalizations for things that we all do, including me. We all do this stuff. So I know we talked last time about having a couple things in mind, and it's up to you if you want to share or not, but the more the discussion goes, like 7:15, it was great when people were just talking about things that they do, and even like good things that we do with some of the topics that we're going to cover. So just ways to kind of get through stuff. So as you get the handout, this says, what are you thinking? Which is kind of fun because I think that's usually the problem. So even to start off, before we go through some of these, I know a lot of you have been coming to these classes or coaching or meeting with a dietitian or Tammy or whomever and trying to get, healthy and to get educated. And I'm not going to say anything negative about that, of course, because I'm a part of all of it. But, I can meet with you guys every year and teach classes about eating and exercise. I can meet with everybody about, making those goals that really change. If it's not eating or exercise, it doesn't have to be about weight loss, but I mean, whatever it is that your health goal is, we can meet every year and do these things, and we will and will continue to. But at some point, if something is standing between that goal being met and, the education and the guidance and whatever you're getting from me or whomever, there's that thing in the middle that's, if it's not getting met, what is stopping it, and it's us. So we're going to talk about what are those things how we sabotage ourselves, essentially, is the theme of today. How do you sabotage yourself? So we're going to go through that. So the first one is all or nothing thinking. So either I'm perfect on my diet or like exercising, or I've completely failed. So has anyone thought like that? Like, yeah, if I was going to work out 5 days a week and I only worked out 4, I totally failed. Has that gone through your head? No? Okay. Well, these aren't going to apply to everybody. Okay. But some of you can attest to that, or if you're trying to eat right and you don't, then it's like, well, that's it, the whole thing. It's all off. I fell off the wagon. I hear that all the time. Well, did you really fall off the wagon, or did maybe just a couple days weren't so hot? It's kind of thing like that. How about jumping to conclusions? So read through that. I ate chocolate today, so reaching my healthy eating goal is impossible. That's it. It's done. So that's kind of all or nothing thinking. But what do you think?
Go to bed every morning.
Right. Every morning?
Every day. It's destroyed.
It's destroyed.
You're the one that comes over and asks. I don't eat it, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You came over and asked me today, actually.
What did he say?
What is that one for?
Can I have some
It's
can I
okay
have a
to
Kit
eat these
Kat?
sweet foods because I'm so stressed out.
So I gave him a couple this morning
Okay.
already at like 7 this morning. He came looking for me.
Okay,
It
so
was later than
Okay,
this
7:15.
conversation is going to be so great when we go into our next phase of this, so keep this in mind. How about, this is another good one, negative fortune telling. I won't be able to resist the desserts at a party. It's like you're going to a party, even like birthday party, they've got cake, usually cake and ice cream, or a holiday or whatever. Have you ever thought like there was no way I'm going to get out, how am I going to get away from that? The desserts table. Have you ever thought this?
Stay away from
I figured they put them there for a
that.
reason.
Which is
To eat them.
to eat them. Which would be an
Why would they bring them
excuse
otherwise?
as to, well, I had to eat them because they were there. That's not a real thing, right?
Between
That is a
other
true
things,
statement.
eating something.
Or you just drink a lot and get drunk so you can't get up to the table.
Still not catching that health thing we're looking for. But
But I'm not eating that.
I don't know
Getting
that
drunk is not
it's
eating
not two wrongs still made. It's not like it cancels out each other.
Oh, I thought it.
Yeah, no. Nope. You can't drink your way through the party and think that you haven't gained any empty calories. That doesn't.
But Miller 64 goes a long way.
Yes.
64 calories.
They're
And
not
you can
big.
drink, and you're low in alcohol, so you can
If
drink
we had like
7, 8,
someone
9.
sitting here silently, like just making tick marks on excuses and rationalizations, they'd have like this whole full list. Because you guys just like, it's like a tennis match between excuses and rationalizations. You're just that, ping, I got one, ping.
Yeah.
Just because it's got 64 calories doesn't mean it's okay to drink. It's still empty calories. It's 64 empty calories.
Yeah.
Precisely.
But they're delicious.
Yeah, but when you're drinking those 64 calories, and you'll do a couple an hour typically,
Couple an hour?
you're not.
If I drink a couple beers an hour, I would be
this is light
sleeping.
beer, and
Still.
you're not snacking more during that time period because you're drinking beer.
You are rational.
You're
Okay.
getting up, walking,
What-
bending over, you're
What
doing
is
exercise
he
to
doing?
get
What
it.
are you doing right now? What would a
He's
word?
rationalizing why it's okay.
You're
You're like a chip.
rationalizing why it's okay to
Yeah.
drink the beer.
Yeah.
It still isn't okay to drink for a health standpoint. It's still
But
not.
it's only 64 calories.
You're rationalizing. Every
Right,
time
yeah.
you say it's only, that's a
Yeah.
rationalization.
You just turn into a
I didn't think
girl.
I'd win this fight. I just wanted
Oh,
to
yeah, no, it's fine. Right, but I mean, do you know what I'm saying? It's a rationalization.
Actually, what he's doing, he's jumping to conclusions. He has a negative fortune telling, emotional way of thinking. He's labeling his beer. He's believing in foodness. He has an excuse and rationalization. Overstatement.
Ching, ching, ching. I mean, you're firing on all cylinders, pal.
Just trying to
Well,
help
they
you out.
really enjoy it, though, that they're worth it.
Right, okay, so and it's just the idea of understanding your behavior from a rationalization and excuse making point, right? So if you're comfortable with your choices and you're comfortable with your choices, you know, like I drink red wine, I'm comfortable with that choice. When I drink too much of it, I am not comfortable with that choice, and I wish I wouldn't have done that. So then I would make an excuse like, well, I biked for an hour and a half, that was like 800 calories, it should be good. Well, not really, I know that I'm making BS in my head about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Or like, I'm not one to go sit and eat at a dessert table. I will, but that's usually not my thing. I guess I can't have the drinks. You know, like that is a rash. That's what we do in our heads. This was perfect. Like nothing you said was wrong from a conversation standpoint. This is exactly like what we do, right? And it's so true all the time. Okay, so yeah, so let's go down a couple of these, Ben. Great.
I do them all.
Yeah.
I do.
We all do them all. Discounting the positive. I only worked for 100 minutes this week. I deserve credit only if I reach my activity goal. How many of you have made the goal like I'm going to start working out 3 days a week, and then you go 2 weeks in a row that you only worked out once, and you feel like a failure? Right. Are you a failure if you worked out once in a week for 2 weeks?
You get it, you have it.
No, you're not. Because what you've done is you've worked out. It just wasn't what you wanted.
Trying to get the heat off you, Dave.
Yeah. He brought the heat. He brought the heat on and even said I wasn't going to win it. But you still did that. That was something positive that you did. So the idea is that the other way is that we're so self-critical that we'll beat ourselves up for doing something that was actually really good. It just wasn't what you wanted it to be. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. Like if I said, well, I walked the path today, but I didn't do any other workouts, so I guess I suck because I work out 5 days a week. Oh, hello. I got up out of my desk and I walked outside for a little bit. That's terrific. Felt great. Got some oxygen. Had great things. De-stressed. You know, so we take something that was really good and we smash it to death and then say, well, it wasn't good enough. Well, we need to start taking account of the good things that we do. Okay, yeah, so a couple more. Emotional way of thinking. Since I feel so hopeless about reaching my goals, I must really be hopeless. So, you know, when we just feel badly about our success and don't really feel positive about our ability to complete something, that self-esteem and that realization that you can do it, efficacy, then what is going to be the outcome of that? When we don't feel good about it, how good are we going to feel about trying anything? Not very. Yeah. Labeling, I'm a failure for overeating and skipping my workout today. Or what if you didn't work out? What would you call yourself? Lazy. Yeah, I'm lazy. So now I'm labeling myself as a lazy person. Instead of just that day I didn't do as much activity that I wish I could have. Right? So that's not that. And how are you going to feel about then doing activity if in your mind you've already told yourself you're lazy, or you've told yourself you're fat, or you've told yourself you stop bad, whatever. You sit and think bad things. then when you're like, today I'm gonna work out, how positive are you gonna feel? What's your association with that in your head? If you told yourself that you're lazy, how do you feel about starting a workout?
Not very well.
No.
And you're not gonna give it your all.
No, because you already feel like crap about yourself. So how good are you gonna be at it? You know? So that's also the same thing like when you're looking at the negative fortune telling, I won't be able to resist the desserts at a party. If you walk into a party and you're like, well, I'm already gonna eat way too much here, I'm gonna overeat, you've already told yourself that, and you've already made yourself out to be someone who's gonna fail. So they say here, you know, like no one's gonna force me to eat, I need to prepare in advance. So you need to feel good about your odds going into a situation like that.
Yeah,
Right.
walk away from the table, go get yourself a 64.
Or a glass of water. See? Water. Turns out humans
You're at a party.
need water to exist. It's this weird need versus want thing. It's,
But you're at a party.
you're still rationalizing.
Still water. though.
Not everybody drinks alcohol.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Just you and I do.
No, I don't drink.
No.
Yeah.
I literally don't drink.
I know you don't.
Yeah,
So yeah. So, but do you go to parties?
I do.
What?
20 of them recently.
What? But you go to parties and you don't drink. You know what? So you can have fun without alcohol.
Did you go to the snack table?
I do, but I used to. I
Try drinking.
I eat the fruit. I don't
Oh,
eat the
good.
cake.
Okay.
That's your story.
I
Did
was
you
in the
correct this?
20.
No, this is a true story. I'm
parties.
just gonna let it
I only
roll.
had 2 pieces of cake.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's all you are. Telling you.
That's all right. She's
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah. Oh, you. There's a red dot on your head
No,
now.
Mary's fine. I had to take over.
It's fine.
Mary's fine.
We needed this. I know. We're a little empty. All right, so let's flip it over and look at some more excuses and rationalizations because we don't have enough. But we've already said a couple of them. That's why I love this back and forth and everything you guys are saying. It's just one little piece. Anybody have an example or why that's a excuse and not a reason?
Turns into more than one.
True. And
Baked
what?
potato chips.
Yeah, I just see one, right?
Oh, Hershey Kisses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just little dark chocolate kisses. It's like, oh, it's
Perfect.
dark chocolate.
Okay,
It's
so
just one.
Tammy and I were
You
talking
just
about
gotta
this
go back
today,
and get two.
and then we were talking about it this morning when Rindell brought in Jolly Ranchers to class, and was handing them out, which was like a perfect thing for this. So we were talking about that. It's the just one thing, or it's free, which is on here. Okay, like think about need. We're gonna talk about two things: need versus want. Okay, do you need chocolate to survive? Do you need a Hershey Kiss?
No.
If Hershey's chocolate went out of business tomorrow, okay, would you die?
I know, but I'm very
You'd be sad.
disappointed.
Right.
But you have lady coffee.
Yeah, okay. So let's say all the areas of the world that grow cocoa beans, there's a fire or something, and all the plants are gone. I don't know, whatever. There's a shortage of chocolate. We would be sad, but would you die?
I don't know.
If you didn't have water, would you die?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Difference between a need and a want. Okay, so that's been established, all right? So as we're going through these things, think of that stuff. Also, it's just one little piece. Let's talk about a Jolly Rancher. Does your body need refined sugar, artificial colors, sweeteners? Does your body need that to survive?
No.
Do you want it? Okay.
No idea.
I don't really like Jolly Ranchers, but okay, right, yeah. I like chocolate, yeah. So I mean, we all are things that we want. So that's the difference, that it's just one little piece. Of course it's just one little piece, but it can turn into more, and it usually does. And then also, we think, well, that doesn't hurt me. Well, what does one little piece do if you had one every day for your whole life? 365 times. It's like the thing when people do like the little creamer in their coffee, the Coffee Mate. Well, it's just 1 or 2 tablespoons. It's just that little bit I put in. That's like 10 pounds a year sometimes, for how many calories it is if you do it 365 days a year. So we say we rationalize it's just one little thing, but it's not that you're doing it once and then you don't return to it again for a year. It's that we pluck something every day and we do a little something every day. Does that make sense?
So, I got smart. It didn't work, but I got smart to that. And I thought, I'm going to buy dark chocolate, the baking chips, and they're 67%.
Sure.
Coco, so it's like, hey, those are pretty good. Then, the serving size is like 28 chips. Just pour a little in your hand, and then you can just kind of nibble on them, not just throw one piece in. I thought, well, that'll work better.
I like
had
all
that
this.
entire bag polished in a week. It's just, you can't do it. It doesn't matter how small the chip is, you can't do it.
I'm gonna take the word can't out and say
Yeah.
you can. You were just unsuccessful, and it was probably for some other reasons. Because during it,
But
you're
it was a
probably
good idea.
rationalizing like, well, this is just dark talk. You know, when we start to do that, once we get rolling with justifications and rationalizations, it just keeps going. It just steamrolls. So whatever you were doing, you were probably eating them, and then you were like, well, the bag's here. I might as well have a couple more. Wow, there's antioxidants in dark chocolate. I'll just have more. You know, we start to rationalize each consecutive bite, and now you're 50 to 100 chips in, and it's day 2. You know, there we go. But great example of rationalization and excuses. Okay, there's a couple more of these that you guys touched on when we were first talking about, like that social thing. It'll go to waste, or I'll disappoint someone if I don't eat it. Does anybody like bring you stuff and they're like, well, here, I know you like this, you should eat this? Or like go to a family party or something and people make a dessert for you or something for you? Does that happen? Yeah. I've had people bring me like, even my mother did this, which I was like, have we met? For my birthday, she made me carrot cake and then said, well, you're healthy, it's got carrots in it. And I'm like, Mom, this is not a health food. I'm like, carrots in it. And she's like, well, sure it is. And I'm like, that's not. You made it out of sugar and refined flour, and then you put cream cheese frosting on top of it. You know, but is that, I think, oh, well, Sarah will eat that. I mean, it was good. I'm not going to say it was bad, but do you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it's that rationalization, and I didn't want to disappoint her, but it's not like carrot cake's my favorite thing in the world. But, you know, like, what else? There's another one. It's a special occasion. Do you guys see, okay, so do you guys run into this at all? What do you do when someone, you know, how about here at work? Someone's got the candy, right? Well, it's there, it's free. How many of you eat something just because it's free and it's there?
Robbie, reasonable.
Sometimes. I'll put my hand up just because I know I do it. I mean, 0 is that I would never do it. So yeah, I've done it, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I actually like it at chemo when my blood sugar is too low because I know where they hide their Godiva chocolate. The nurses at the nurses station have this little drawer, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll need a Godiva chocolate because my blood sugar is too low today. Like, get your little finger stick out and we'll try it again in 15 minutes. It's great. But, you know, like we do that rationalization because it's free, because it's there, right? Walk around this place. If we could do this as like a science experiment. If I gave you guys 2 minutes, could you get something free to eat right now?
Yes.
There's some Oreo mint cookies in nature that no
I
one's
know.
eating. No one's eating those things.
Well, they're open. They were not open this morning, and now they're open. So
They've been
someone's
there for 2
eating
days,
them.
so no one opened them.
Well, they started today.
Okay.
There's not very many gone though. But we could all go get something. So, and it's free, and we can eat it because it's right there. Well, we have to eat it because it's free. What does that mean? Or it'll go to waste. Have you guys ever eaten anything that you probably shouldn't have eaten, but you didn't want it to go to waste? Totally. Extra birthday cake. I don't eat cake. Why am I eating cake? Because I'm going to throw it out? So what? I don't need it. It's not helping my body. So so we talked about this the first hour. Let's say you had a cup of steamed broccoli and you had an extra piece of birthday cake. Would you feel equally bad or not about throwing one or both of those away? How do we feel about throwing out food? Would you feel bad about both or one? Both? Anybody else?
I'd eat them both.
Okay. Because they were there and you didn't want to waste them? Okay.
I wouldn't want to put them away.
You wouldn't, okay. Okay. That is awesome. Well, I don't have to pack it up and put it in Tupperware and in the fridge, so I might as well eat it.
Exactly.
Right, yeah, then I have to wash.
Yep.
God,
Yep.
yeah, that's such a
Smart.
good thing.
I don't mind throwing
It's
them
different.
away.
Yeah, I don't mind throwing the cake away or putting the dishes in the dishwasher. I don't understand how dishes go on the counter right above the dishwasher. If you can put them there, why can't you can't just get them
Right? No, they can't.
that disconnected? Okay, so, but so you would you would eat them just so for the sake of convenience. But do you know what I'm saying? Where we kind of live in that mindset of throwing away food is bad, right?
I meant to throw it away. They are not good to eat anymore. Is what I meant.
Oh, like if it was bad. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
not just-
So you're
yeah.
fine throwing away bad food. Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But isn't that interesting though? I think we were talking to in the first hour about how, you know, if your parents or your grandparents lived through the Depression, you eat everything on your plate, or you like in a farming community type thing, you eat everything on your plate, you do not waste food, we're thankful for food. I know that my mom, I go home and she has so much food in her cupboards. Like, Mom, why do you have 4 cans of baked beans? You don't even eat baked beans. And she's like, well, what if we have people over? I'm like, you would go buy some. You know, but like, why do you have this like stockpile of canned goods all the time? And she's like, well, what if I want to make soup and I need all those stewed tomatoes? And I'm like, okay, you know, but I think it's like that worry that we're not going to have food. So we don't like to throw food out. We don't like to waste food.
I grew up with not a lot of money and not a lot of food, so I have food.
Yeah, same thing with, we grew up with no money. And my mom's like, well, now I can buy food now. Well, it's on
Yes.
sale. It's on sale. I bought it because it's on sale.
I don't do that, I just have to keep it, and it's ridiculous, because I could feed a nation.
With the food in your
For,
house.
yes.
Yes,
Even
but
Mike's
why-
like, stop.
Stop. Right.
But we grew up without that, so I never wanna go like that again.
Right. And think of our Sam's Clubs and Costco's.
Yes.
That's another thing. When you go through Sundex or Costco, what do they have out when you're shopping? Samples. And what do you eat? Samples. There's like, I know
Farmer's
people.
market.
I know people who go to Costco
Crazy insane.
hungry because they know they'll just eat samples. No, it's terrible. It's terrible. I've seen the workers eat the food too, and I don't know if that's so healthy for them. They don't look healthy. They don't look like they feel very good. They look pretty sad when every time I go through. I don't know. Maybe it's their job. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a bad job. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not good for, but we do it because it's free. Well, I have some because it's free. Well, you're not planning on buying it. You know, it's usually kind of gross. So some things to think about when we rationalize our choices for eating and taking something. No one will see me eating it. I burned a lot of calories on my walk today. That's something I know I do. If I'm like, well, I did all that, I could probably you know, I know I do that in my head all the time. Well, shit, I for a bike ride today. Oh, you want to do what for dinner? You know, like, I've done that in my head so many times.
Well, don't you have to replace those calories though too? I mean,
Well,
if
right,
you
but
burn if you burn so many more calories than you consume, aren't you more hungry and you have to eat something now?
that is true. I definitely like I have the little mini triathlon I'm doing this weekend, and I've been practicing and doing like little mini triathlons on the weekends, and I come home ravished, you know. But I need to eat something that's good for my body to replenish my electrolytes and my minerals and my vitamins and carbohydrates that I just burned up. So I need to eat an appropriate meal, not like, you know, you want to go out for fish fry? I mean, you know, that's not, those two don't really work out.
But you can increase your portion size because you need to take more calories in, right? To a certain extent, I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
to
if
a
you burn
certain
more
extent,
calories,
yeah.
you replace more calories.
Yeah, but I don't want to get in the habit of overeating as a rationalization for the calories that I burned. But correct, yeah. Okay, or I'm just upset. I just don't care. I'm craving it. I'll probably just eat it eventually. So some of those more emotional choices. I've had a rough day. I deserve this. You know, that's a lot of the rationalization and things like that. So, are you guys feel familiar with these? These are things that you said in your head.
If you tell yourself you can't have something, doesn't that almost make you want to have it more? Because when I was
Yes.
pregnant and I had gestational diabetes, there were things that I could not eat.
Right.
Oh my gosh, it was just,
Did you like dream about them?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
so bad because I knew I couldn't have it. I had to check my blood sugar. I couldn't have those, and it was, you crave those foods so bad.
Yes, yes. And isn't that in our human nature? You don't want something until the second someone says you can't have it. And then you're like, well, that's what I want. That's us, right?
It is.
And that's a really good point. So another conversation I had with Dr. Sam, we were talking about cheat days and the idea of cheat days. And she said, okay, so you eat, you know, I eat like 99% of my food is from my kitchen, okay? So I eat clean, I know what I eat, and not everything. I mean, we have chips, tortilla chips when I make salsa. So I mean, it's not like 100% perfect, but you know, whatever, try my best. And so she's like, okay, so let's say you go out and you get like a custard or a turtle sundae or a cone or something. She's like, is that like your cheat day then? And I'm like, nope, because I don't like to associate the word cheat day to me having something like, we went to the Brewers game and we cooked brats out, and I provided the brat and ate a brat, you know, whatever. I'm not going to say that was a cheat day for me, because then that makes a negative connotation with all the other good eating that I did. So when I say it's a cheat day, then I took everything good that I ate, and now I made it something bad that I wanted to get away from and go have this thing. When really, I want to say, I did great, I eat really great, that my perk is that I can have an ice cream cone and it's fine, because it's part of being a healthy person. Does that make sense? So when we take things and we're like, I can't have that, now you make a negative connotation with all the healthy stuff you eat, saying that that's all terrible. Well, I've been eating all healthy, I'm eating all this good for me stuff. That's a great thing. But when we start to say, ooh, I'm gonna go bad and eat pizza. Well, now you just made all that really good stuff sound terrible. And that's not gonna help you eat better. But isn't that interesting when we say, you know, when we twist it like that and make it like this kind of negative, sinful thing, it takes on a different thing in our head. Yeah. So if you guys, when you can look through those and stuff, but that assertiveness bit is on the next couple pages. So talking about if you are trying to make a change, or maybe you're living the life you've always lived and you want the people around you to finally support it or something like that, how to be assertive. You know, and I'll give an example just for myself if anybody else wants to give examples. You know, I've been my lifestyle for however many years, and there are some people in my family that do it and some people that don't, but when we go to a family party and we all do like the email of who's going to be in charge of what, and they're like, Sarah, bring a dessert and a veggie, and I bring things that are better choices, like a fruit-based dessert and a veggie tray or whatever it is, and I don't bring veggie dip, and I make homemade hummus, and like that's what I provide. That's me being assertive and saying, listen, I know my family is expecting some kind of nasty veggie dip in the middle, and they want me to bring one of my pies that I make, but I'm not going to do that this time, you know, because I want to be assertive and say, I care about everybody's health, and these things are really delicious, here, try that, you know, and when they offer me some food, I can say, you know, please, no, I'm really good with what I have, you know, on my plate, or whatever it is. So trying those things, whether you've been doing this for a long time, or whether you're just starting out, read through some of these pages and find some appropriate ways to say things. I think I'm a great example of non-appropriate things that I say, because I say a lot of not-appropriate things, and there's great examples on here. You know, when you kind of talk back and be like, what's the matter with you? I told you I'm trying to eat better. You don't have to talk to people like that. You know, I mean, I've been snotty like that, and, you know, so trying to say things in a non-aggressive way that hopefully will help inspire other people. Can you guys think of examples like that in your real life that might apply? Everybody's healthy around you?
No.
No?
I'm trying to eat more veggies, and I like sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So when we make a big thing for the grill, I always cut up my own potato on the side. Or
Okay.
make a second dish just for me. I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was hard, and I did it one day. It's like,
Not too bad.
I'm not that stupid. Let's just make mine separate, but we can all eat together on the grill, and
Right.
I do those choices.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
That way.
Exactly. You know, assertive.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I've gotten to the point where I just don't make it. This is what we're eating. But
Right.
that's a long time of getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something you do overnight. But so that's a great example of just like putting it out there what you're going to do. Or how about exercise, you know, where, oh, you want to take a walk after dinner? No, I don't want to walk. It was a long day. I'm tired of watching TV. Okay, well, I'm going to go for a walk. And then you go for a walk.
Yeah.
And then you keep doing that. And then eventually it's like, well, yeah, I'll go with you. It's nice out. And then maybe they want to go for a walk with you.
Yes.
You know, so it's like that slow, patient, you'll get there, let's do this together kind of stuff.
And if not, try a dog, because they always.
This second one, and we'll go through it kind of quick, is just, this doesn't necessarily have to be about weight loss. this program is about diabetes and weight loss, but obviously we are using this as an everybody kind of topic. So, but I really, really love this thinking. Tammy and I were looking through this, and I'm like, how many times have you heard all of these excuses? It's so crazy. So, thinking like, well, I don't really need a food log. I know what I eat. What if I food logged? I would discover things that I was like, oh, I did have that. Turns out.
We have something, Janice, and I have something.
Oh, okay.
It's on my phone.
What do you have?
It is called the Lose It app.
Okay.
It's for free, and it tracks, you fill in your information, and everything you eat every day.
Here's your little
And the
food log.
the first day, I thought, oh, I was eating healthy. Well, I had a cookie, candy bars, and some other shit when I got home. It's like, well, oh my calories for the day
Right.
in junk.
Old thinking.
And I had to take
He was talking about the 64 again.
I said, you could have just
You know what? Your calories start to, I only have like 5 calories left. I'm starved today. So like on Monday, it's like, well, oh, this is ridiculous. But healthy, and
Right.
tomorrow will be better choices.
Excellent way of taking old thinking into new thinking.
I will attest that tracking food, writing it down, more weight than recently. I haven't been writing it down for the last 2 months already. But for the first couple months, and I can recite pretty well. Got a handful.
Yep.
But
By the end.
is it 200 to 300 calories to 5? Yeah, and you're like,
By the
shoot.
end.
And this has
So if you
every
write
Thing is nice because the entering is tedious. So thank you both, all of you, for that, because that's so. And that's being honest with yourself, keeping track of my food,